So I want to share with you guys two strategies that have been really hot. Feel free to put questions in Q&A. I will answer them in real time. I have two screens here. So I have a screen that I'm presenting on, as well as I have the Q&A section open. So feel free as if I go too fast or if there's something I don't understand that you don't understand, then we'll break that down for you. I want to just share one slide with you before we hop in. If this is your first time meeting me and you're like, okay, who is this guy and why should I give him any credibility today? That's fair, right? So here is my operation in a nutshell. Let me just break this down for you. So we're buying and selling. Oh, oopsie, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. See if I did that right. Okay, there we go. So we're buying and selling about 50 properties a month. Guys, we're buying all types of property. We're buying raw land. We're buying single family homes that are distressed. We're buying multifamily. We're doing commercial properties. We're buying RV parks, mobile home parks, storage units. I always joke that I've been chasing cap rates for 25 years. I bought my first deal, a duplex in Southern California in 2000, and that's all I've been chasing. Give me a heart emoji if you, like me, are a big fan of cap rate. If you are a cap rate fan, give me a heart emoji. Now, if you don't know what cap rate is, let me break that down for you briefly, okay? So a lot of people say cash on cash return. I don't love cash on cash return because you can get a mortgage and cash on cash return can look really good with a mortgage. And so cap rate doesn't count a mortgage. So all you do with cap rate is you look at 12 months of rent. Let's say I buy a property for $1 million, and over those 12 months, I'm going to collect $200,000 in rent, okay? And then I add up my expenses and I have $100,000 in expenses, leaving me with, at the end of the year, $100,000. I look at that net cash flow after paying for tax, property tax, insurance, management, maintenance, vacancy, okay? And I look at that 100,000 and say, I invested $1 million in it, whether I get a loan on it or not. I said the purchase price was $1 million. I have 100,000 12 months later. I made 10% from the rents. Therefore, that property is a 10 cap. Okay, that's how you factor the cap rate. And what that does is that allows me to look at two commercial properties or two single family homes or two apartment complexes or two mobile home parks, one in California, one in Florida, and only compare apples to apples. Now, the interesting thing about that is, let's say I'm looking at a 4-unit apartment complex in Florida and a 4-unit apartment complex in Missouri, okay? And they both are $200,000, and they both rent for $2,000 a month. Initially, if all I looked at was the purchase price and the rents, I might say they're the same difference. And maybe I like Florida better, so I'm going to buy Florida. The devil's in the details, though, because insurance, for example, could be 4 times more in Florida, causing me to net thousands of dollars less. And so what the cap rate does is it can take two seemingly identical properties, both the same price, both the same rents, and as you factor in the actual property tax bill, think about Texas with 3% property tax, or Illinois that has really high, or the worst is South Carolina that has extra tax if it's a rental property, 6%. Okay, so think about those states where if you're looking at a real estate investment in South Carolina or Texas, you go, oh my gosh, the tax bill for property tax is insane. It's killing my cash flow. Or think about a rental property in California with wildfire insurance, or Oklahoma with hail insurance being expensive, or anywhere in a hurricane zone. And so cap rate allows you to evaluate two deals and really know what they're going to return when you look at the rents. That's what cap rate is. Give me a heart emoji if you're tracking, if you're understanding me better that way, if that makes more sense. And guys, I started 25 years ago as a high school teacher. I like to say that K through 12 is my superpower. And give me a laughing face emoji if I just K through 12 that for you. Somebody said, so true, not a question, just agreeing. Devil is in the details. Yes, yes, it is. So I love cap rate. And guys, I've chased cap rate all across the country. Cap rate got me out to the Midwest, buying $20,000, $25,000 houses in 2005. That's where I started my first Alpine property management. in Indianapolis in 2005. We have an Alpine Property Management in Indianapolis, Kansas City, Idaho, Missouri, North Carolina. We have 7 of them. We're doing $100 billion a year in real estate revenue. I have a team of 400 that buy the deals for me, that help me sell them, that help me rent them, that manage them, that collect rents. We don't outsource any part of that. So we also have 7 construction companies and 7 brokerages. We're in North Carolina, we're in Texas, we're in Idaho, we're in Indiana, we're in Kansas, we're in Missouri. We have over 30 Airbnbs. We have over 400 doors of apartment buildings. We have over 3,100 properties, well over $500 million in value. And this is how it breaks down. And so as a active real estate investor, I don't make money for speaking. I don't do mentorships. I don't do coaching. I just do real estate. So this is your first time. It's nice to meet you, excited to meet you, and excited to share this strategy with you. Now, once a month, we offer a 3-day real estate training in our offices. And we're going to show you today how you can attend that absolutely free. Give me a heart emoji if you'd be interested in attending our real estate training absolutely free. Cool, cool, cool. We do a 3-day live and live streamed. We live stream the event as well. And so we invite investors to come attend this event. So everything we're talking about, you're going to get a chance to see now. Bahishma said is higher cap rate is better. There's trade-offs. So what you'll find is the higher your cap rate, the more you make from the rents. Generally, you start to drop in neighborhood. And so I was just looking at a single family home that was like 15 cap, but it was in a war zone neighborhood. And so, if you think about like really nice brand new commercial with you, and some people say, I'd love to own Class A commercial. They tend to class real estate by Class A, B, and C. So Class A is brand new. Class B is kind of, maybe 10 years old. Class C is everything else. So I was looking at a Class C war zone property, so no home ownership, a lot of crime, and the cap rate was good. But think about the trade-offs of that. So it tends if you want a really nice brand new commercial property with a 20-year tenant, you're probably going to get only 5% from the rent. So you'd be at a 5 cap. If you really want double-digit cap rates, you're going to start to drop in neighborhoods. So you have to think about the blend and what you personally need when you're looking at cap rate. Kenneth said, do you have to be accredited? You don't. So we have investments for investors that are accredited required, but we also have investments for investors that are not. Let me show you guys kind of a breakdown of the different types of deals that we offer our clients. Here we go. Just skip right around here. So these are the types of deals that we offer to our investors, and we're going to walk you through how you can partner with us or buy a deal from the strategy that we're teaching tonight. So we have single family homes between $75,000 to $200,000. Cap rate, see, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You guys now can understand this better. Cap rate on those deals are 6 to 9 cap. Now, the thing that people a lot of times forget is they get obsessed with the cap rate and they forget about the appreciation. And so we have deals right now that are 6 cap, but 10% appreciation. So you're making 16% a year on your money. So combined returns 11 to 25%. You do not need to be accredited to buy a single family home from us. If you'd like multifamily, those are going to be $150,000 up to $1 million. Cap rates are 6 to 9, appreciations 5 to 15. You're looking at making 11 to 25 when you combine the returns. Again, you don't have to be accredited. We have short-term rentals and we have pad splits. We're going to walk you through those. 150,000 to $1 million is the price point. Cap rates are 8 to 12, appreciation 5 to 15, 13 to 27. And then we have syndications and partnerships. And so we feel like if you are an investor who's interested in investing passively and having somebody else do the management, then we have a lot of different types of properties for you. Marva said, glad you asked, Kenneth. So, as you can see, a lot of the types of deals that we have are not require accredited. We also do a 506B syndication. So I'm going to show you tonight how you could do a syndication with us. 506B syndication allows me to put up to 35 non-accredited investors into that deal. And so potentially we could allow you to participate in that if we think it's a good fit for you. And so one of the things that we do at our 3-day event is We alternate between my offices in Indianapolis and Idaho, and we invite you to come out to that. But all of my partners from all the different markets come into town, and and we walk you through the deals. And so this is, I didn't don't we don't want to dig too much into the event. That's why we do it for 3 days every month, to allow investors to come and really check this out. Give me a heart emoji if you've attended the event. If you've attended our live event, give me a heart emoji. Yeah, there you go. We have quite a few. Okay. And Jeff said, where do pad splits land on that table? That's what I'm going to break down for you guys tonight, Jeff, because we do have pad splits available in all of our markets. Now, I have the pad split website on here. Let's jump right into the strategy that I'm going to break down for you tonight. It's going to blow your mind. You guys are going to be excited. I'm going to show you how to make 25 cap. That's my goal tonight. Give me a heart emoji if 25 cap is sexy. Bahishma said, for the 3D event, you have to make your own stay arrangements. We have a hotel block of rooms in Indianapolis or in Idaho, about 100, 150 bucks a night. We shuttle you to and from my offices. And so those of you that are interested in attending, I'm going to give you a link tonight so that you can book the event and attend the event. Our next one's just in 2 weeks here in Southeast Idaho, in Idaho Falls. And we'd love to have you guys join us. We have about 40 investors attending. We absolutely would love to have you guys attend us. I'll give you a link for that as we wrap up tonight. And so PadSplit is a very interesting company. Now, let me walk you through what they do, okay? So I just signed a lease. In fact, let me show you. One of my properties is on here. You can see if you're like, do they do PadSplit where I live? It's just padsplit.com. You can go and you can look up your state, look up your city, and walk you through it. Now, here is one of my pad splits. Okay. And this was a house that I had on Airbnb. And I signed a lease with PadSplit. And you can see the furnishings are very Spartan. I went to IKEA. I spent maybe, 150 bucks on a very simple bed, a very simple desk, a very simple dresser. Okay. And now it was really easy because this used to be an Airbnb for me. And so it was completely furnished previously. Obviously, there's a common kitchen, so I have appliances in it. And there's a laundry room, so I have a washer and dryer, one bath. And so here's the idea behind PadSplit. Let me walk you through this. If I rented this 4-bedroom house out on a 12-month lease, in fact, let me do this. I'll just write on the screen. So if I did a 12-month lease on this property, well, that's not the one I want. I want permanent. Let me fix that for you guys. There we go. So 12-month lease, I'd be looking at $1,200. But I signed a lease with PadSplit to rent each of the 4 bedrooms for $175 a week. Okay, so 175 times 4 is 700 a week, times 52 weeks is 36.4 a year. And to compare apples to apples, if I divide that by 12, that gives me $3,033 a month. So as a 12-month rental, I'm looking at $1,200 a month. As a weekly pad split, I'm looking at $3,000 a month. Now, on the 12-month rental, I don't have to pay utilities. So I have utilities that are additional. I have landscaping that's additional. I have quarterly cleanings that I have to do that are additional. And I also have Wi-Fi that I have to pay for. PadSplit charges me 8% of the rents. And then my local management company that handles the landscaping, the utilities, the quarterly cleanings, charge me 10%. So I'm paying 18% of the gross. So if I look at 3,033, right off the top, I have 18% for management. And I would say everything else, the utilities, the landscaping, the quarterly cleanings, are about 20 to 25%. So I'm looking at 38% expenses. So if I take that amount and times it by 0.38, that's 1150 a month in expenses. 3033 minus 1150. I'm looking at about 1883 net. Now on the 12-month lease after taxes and insurance, I'm looking at about 900 a month net. So I'm looking at double the returns as a pad split versus a 12-month tenant. That's what's been really interesting to me as an investor. So, I first heard of PadSplit 2 years ago, and I said, well, I need to test it out because, how long are these people going to stay, and are they going to be harder on the homes, or, what's devil's in the details. And we've been doing it for 2 years. We've done them in Kansas City. We have them in Indianapolis. We've done them in North Carolina, and we really like pad splits. Let's see, we got some questions here. So Marvis said, you have the events monthly. Correct, Marvis. So in August, we're here in Idaho, September, Indianapolis, October here in Idaho, November back in Indianapolis. Pad splits is 150K. So financing is possible. You have to decide if you want to partner with me on a pad split development. I'm going to walk you through my development plan tonight, or if you just want to buy one from me outright. And if you just want to buy a single family home like this as a pad split, then we have those available, and they average about 150,000. That's just an average. Garth said, who manages these weekly rentals? We manage them for you. And so we'll sell you one from Kansas City, or we'll sell you one from Charlotte, or we'll sell you one from Idaho, or we'll sell you one from Indianapolis, from one of our existing Alpine property managements, and then we'll manage it for you. And so, yeah, that part's easy. Maine said, do you have to get a certain type of insurance to do pad split? I've been using the same type of insurance that I used on my Airbnbs. And I've been converting my Airbnbs over from PadSplit because I've started to find that Airbnb is getting saturated. It's not as good as it was right before and right after COVID. And so I've been switching my Airbnbs over to PadSplit. Deborah said, don't you need to deduct real estate taxes and insurance on the PadSplit? Same. Yeah. And I built that into the 25%, Deborah. So you're looking at about, I put, almost 40% in expenses. I'm counting that apples to apples. On the net of what I'm seeing is if I was making 8 cap, let me just write this up here for you guys. If I was making 8 cap for a single family home, I'm making 16 cap, converting it to a pad split. Now, one of the reasons I love PadSplit is because I sign the lease with PadSplit and then they rent the place out. And so imagine a scenario where 2 tenants get in a fight. Who are they suing? They're not suing me, they're suing PadSplit because PadSplit put them in there together. So they're the big target. Guys, PadSplit is not new. They've been around for a while and they have a really good track record. They're very good at the marketing. They're very good at the leases. They're very good at the tenant negotiations. We've been very, very happy over the last couple of years working with PadSplit. So that's something that we've already tested for you. Let's see. Garth said, since it's weekly payments, does this allow you to work around normal tenant laws? So here's what I really love about PadSplit. One of the reasons why Airbnb has been tough is because local cities don't love Airbnbs. Now, Indianapolis likes Airbnbs because they don't have enough hotel rooms. But think about Manhattan as an extreme example. Manhattan has banned Airbnb because they feel like Airbnbs are stealing affordable rental housing from local residents in Manhattan. And in a lot of ways, they're probably right. So a lot of cities across the country don't like short-term rentals. PadSplit's not a short-term rental, even though it's weekly. First off, they sign a 10 to 12-week lease right off the gate. And so they don't fall under the short-term rental umbrella. But when we explain to a local city what PadSplit is, they actually like it because think about the person that's going to rent this room. They're local. And, think about the numbers on this room. Let me walk you through this, okay? So if you're paying $175 a week, I was talking to one of my tenants. He's been in my PadSplit for 2 years. I said, why are you still renting a room? Why are you sharing a bathroom? Why are you sharing a kitchen? He said, Aaron, I make about $800 a week, and for 175, my housing is fixed. That includes all my utilities, Aaron. That includes my landscaping. That it even includes my Wi-Fi. And I don't have a lot of money. I'm not very good with my money, and this is a fixed amount. And think about college student that would love this. Think about going through a divorced person. Think about traveling nurses. Think about remote workers who've been called back. Here in Idaho, we have a bunch of employees of the National Laboratory that are no longer allowed to be remote, and so they're very interested in pad splits. And so, 175 a week, let's look at the math on that, times 52 weeks is 9,100 a year divided by 12 months. Guys, that's $758 a month, including utilities. Where are you getting an affordable rental unit for under 800 a month that's in a decent neighborhood, that's not just a complete war zone? That's why people are staying in pad splits. Yeah, they're sharing a bathroom. Yes, they're sharing a kitchen. But how many of you have kids, teenagers, or college students that are in your house? And give me a laughing face emoji if you never see them because they're in their room. If they have Wi-Fi, they got their computer, they got their phone, they got their gaming system. My boys never leave their rooms. They live in their rooms. Give me a laughing face emoji if you have that millennial or Gen Z or Gen Alpha in your house. Okay? This is cultural, guys. This generation of college and high school students, they live here. All their friends they can connect through on their phone. My son has been gaming with a kid named Adrian that he met 15 years ago that he's only met in person once. And so we're talking about a cultural shift that has really been conducive to PadSplit. Now, at the end of the day, though, guys, this is just a boarding house. And this is not a new idea. But what has made it very successful is PadSplit's application of the technology. They are amazing at finding tenants for weekly rentals, educating them, putting them in a house, giving them house rules, and dealing with the drama. Okay. Leon said, what about pilots and air crews? 100%, Leon. I think that they're a great candidate for PadSplit. Kim said, I think with 4 rooms and 4 different tenants, it's better to have at least 2 bathrooms. I thought that too, Kim, but I have several 4-bedroom, 1 baths that stay rented at 175 a week. I would have agreed with you. And so that's the important thing as an investor, guys, is don't project what you want into your investments. Keep them all the same color, green. Okay, your tenants are green, your investments are green. One of the things that I've learned as an investor is not to try to project that onto them. Cred said, this sounds like co-living rentals. Essentially, it's co-living, but these people have all signed a lease independently with PadSplit. Now, here's what's interesting. No pets, no kids. And so what we've seen 2 years into this is very, very, very low wear and tear on these units. We've also seen a very low eviction rate because let's say you move into a PadSplit, you don't get along with the guy next to you. PadSplit will let you move to another PadSplit there in town. But they're really the only game in town. And so when people don't pay their rent, they know they're going to completely lose access to PadSplit. And so we see very, very high rental payments for this, relatively affordable housing segment. So we've been very impressed with how well they take care of our places. Because if you think about it, pets and kids are what destroy a lot of rentals, and they don't exist in PadSplits. Garth says, since it's weekly payments, does this allow you to work around normal tenant laws? Yeah, so normal tenant laws, we haven't actually had to go through an eviction in 2 years, but yeah, hypothetically, we would just evict them with a breach of contract lease. What about vacancies in PadSplit? Great question. We have seen that it's really interesting when we get up to 200 a week. 200 a week, we see a lot of resistance because if you think about it, 200 a week times 52 weeks divided by 12 months, that's 866 a month, right? But if you get to 225 times 52 weeks divided by 12 months, that puts you at 975. And 975 starts to be where you can just go out and get a studio apartment and not share a bathroom and not share a kitchen. And so 200 seems to be the resistance, but then we have found that you know, if we're not getting somebody at 185, then we'll start dropping that 175. 150 is the magic number for us. When we get to 150, it's gone in any of our markets in Kansas City. And so we get to no vacancies when we get down to 150 because 150 a week times 52 weeks divided by 12, that's 650 a month, including utilities. If they're any type of good tenant, that's cheap. There is nothing available for 650 a month, including utilities anywhere in the country. And so we have found that if, you know, so we kind of always price the numbers based on 150. Would this investment work if we had to rent all the bedrooms at 150 a week? And what we find is it's still 3, 4, 5, 6 points cap rate better than if we went with a 12-month tenant. Deborah said, so PadSplit sends you the 700 a week less their 8%. Correct. If they only have 3 of the 4 bedrooms filled, do they still send the 700? No. So when it's rented, if they're collecting, you're collecting. They don't guarantee you 100% occupancy. That's a great question. And then they keep 8% of whatever they collect. Are you taking only cash or digital payments? That's PadSplit. They're collecting the rent. And yeah, that's correct. That's all they're taking. Can PadSplit work in San Antonio? So good question. Here's how you would look. You would go to Texas. And you would go to San Antonio. And you could see, like, even this little map that shows 183 a week, 179 a week, 209 a week. You could kind of price out what the competition would be for that. Okay. So yeah, absolutely go to their website and check that out. Any pad splits in California, says Kim. Absolutely. So we have Bakersfield, Fresno, like all over the place. Looks like pretty comprehensive coverage. Everywhere from Santa Barbara to San Francisco. Because again, these aren't stealing affordable rentals from local. These are providing affordable rentals. So I've had cities welcome these with open arms. I attempted this program with another company, but Anderson did not want to finance because I did not have construction experience. Sounds like a complicated. It sounds like you have a couple of reasons why this didn't work, but not related to the core idea of PadSplit. Okay? So give me a heart emoji if you're understanding PadSplit, if this is making sense in terms of a strategy for you. If you're like, this is interesting, Aaron, I like this. This is cool. Okay? And so we've done really well with PadSplit. And let me show you some examples of deals that we sell that you could turn into a PadSplit. So let's see. Here are some single-family homes that we've sold over the years. Let me just walk you through some of these deals, and then I'll show you my genius idea. Leon said, can you buy into a group of properties with other investors? Yes, we're doing a PadSplit syndication, Leon. I'll show you how that works. So here was a single family home in Indianapolis that we sold back in, oh gosh, this would have been back in 2018. And we sold it for, oopsie, let me get this fixed here. We sold this for $66,000. It was rented for $700 a month. I just checked recently. Same house is worth about $126,000, $1,300 a month on a monthly lease. But guys, this is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So my client just recently came to me and said, Aaron, could we take the living room and make it into a 4th bedroom? I said, absolutely. So now you're looking at 175 a week times 4. Okay, so that's 700 times 52 divided by 12. They're looking at $3K a month. And this is, you know, like the number that they're looking at netting about $2,000 a month as a PadSplit on their $66,000 investment. And they've been working with us for 7 years. So give me a thumbs up emoji if you would be interested in buying a property like this. And this is in Indianapolis that currently has a 12-month tenant that we can convert it over to a PadSplit for you. Now your conversion costs are about $5,000. We go to IKEA and buy the cheap beds, the cheap desks, the cheap dressers. You got to do a washer and dryer. You got to put upgraded locks on the doors, but it's about 5K to convert, which is a lot less than what I was spending for an Airbnb. Okay. Here is a current deal that we just sold last year, about 120,000, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, but this could easily be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath pad split, that you're making over 2,000 a month on. Okay, so this then puts you at over 15% just off the rents. Here is a deal in Charlotte. Now, we originally sold this pre-COVID for $100,000, bringing in $850 a month rent. Just checked it recently. It's worth over $250,000, bringing in $1,600 a month. Give me a laughing face emoji if you're like, why didn't I meet you before COVID, Aaron? I want some of these $100,000 Charlotte deals. And I wish you would have, because we were working with Protect Wealth back then. Where were they? Where were you? We missed you. Here's what we have Charlotte deals for today. About 150,000. That was why I used 150,000 in my example. This could easily become a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You'd be looking at about 2,000 a month as a pad split. Now, keep in mind, this deal right now has a 12-month tenant in there, but when they complete their tenancy, then we're happy to convert it over for you to a pad split. You send me $5,000 and we'll make that change. Here's an Independence, Missouri, Kansas City property. We sold it a few years ago for 70,000, worth about 130, rents for 750. Now they're 1,100. Here's a Kansas City deal that we currently have available. Here's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Again, you could make a 4th bedroom as a pad split, only $120,000, and you'd be looking at about 2,500 a month as a pad split. So if you are interested in buying a deal like this, we will sell you a deal like this. You just need to come to our event. And I want to give you guys a link. I'm going to have Kendall throw in chat a link so that you can join us at our monthly event. And I'll give this to you a couple times. We've put together a web page for you. It's alpinecapitalevent.com /protect wealth. And what you're going to want to click on to attend the link, okay? Because I know we have a lot of investors here who have 150,000, who have 100,000 that you could buy one of these deals. What I'm going to have you do is you're going to go to this link, and Ken will just put it in chat, protectwealth.com /Aaron. Click on that link. It'll take you to this page. What I want you to do is I want you to click on this green tab here, okay? And if you click on the green tab, let me show you what it's going to take you to. It's going to take you to this page to select a call with my team. Now, Kendall, could you also put Megan at alpinecs.com, Megan's email? We're going to put her email in chat. And you can email her and say, Megan, I'd like to attend one of your summits. I'm listening to the Protect Wealth event. Can you please get me some information so that I can attend the event? If you'd like to schedule a call with us, we have our calendar here that you can schedule. And that's all you have to do. There's no secret cost. There's no fees. We've been hosting an event in our offices going back to 2009. We'd love to have you join us. Maine said, does PadSplit handle the tax work? No, you'll still have, I mean, obviously you'll get your income and your expenses from the management company. You'll still have to file your taxes. That part's pretty easy. Jay Addison said, is there a minimum square footage you prefer for your investments? No, we've done a lot of different properties as pad splits. And we haven't found that a minimum, we haven't done anything over a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, but man, we're excited about it because we're getting double-digit cap rates. And if you look at where we are selling properties in Indianapolis, in Kansas City, in our different markets, they are close to double-digit appreciation rates. So imagine making 10 to 15% from the rents on a single-family home in Idaho or Kansas City or Indianapolis, and then making almost 10% appreciation, okay? The third piece that a lot of my clients are doing is they're buying these properties from me in their 401k or in their IRA. And we can show you how to set up a self-directed IRA so that the monthly rents are tax-free. So imagine you have 300, 400, 500,000 in a 401k or in an IRA. Imagine buying 2 or 3 pad splits and holding them for 5, 10 years. And then when you go to retire 5 years from now, you're not spending the 400 grand, you're not spending the 600,000, you're only spending the rents that come in from the tenants, and it acts like a pension. That's what we've had. That's why our clients have really loved working with us. And as part of this package that we have here, we're also going to give you 2 free self-directed IRAs from the IRA Club. And so that's included in this package that we'll waive the annual fee. It's $200 and we'll set those up for you. So give me a heart emoji if you're getting excited. You're like, I'm thinking about coming to the event. Now, we have a very beautiful girl that just joined us on the call. Give me a thumbs up emoji if you think gingers are hot. You take your mic off and say hi, Meg.
Hi, everyone.
Everybody meet Megan, and she's also my wife, so I'm not harassing her in the workplace. But I wanted to invite Meg to join us because she is the gatekeeper of the Dropbox that has all of our PadSplit properties. And Meg, I don't know when exactly you joined us, but I just spent a few minutes going through deals that potentially people could buy from us that they could then convert to a PadSplit. Can you talk about that with our investors, how you've helped them with that?
Yeah, I really love this strategy. I mean, I think we've had a lot of investors who have done very well with it. Obviously, it wasn't something we even talked about 2 years ago, but it shows how current we stay with our investors at helping them get the returns that they're capable of with these properties. Again, we didn't even talk about it 2 years ago. Now here we are. We talk about it just about with every property that I'm helping my clients look at. So yes, I have the Dropbox full of the properties, and they're fantastic just as rentals on their own, in terms of performance and appreciation. But if you're able to pad split it and have it work that way as well, then it's fantastic. I just got off a call with a client, and he's purchasing 3 properties. One of them he's going to pad split. The other 2 he's just going to rent.
Yeah, so guys, we literally have a Dropbox with deals. And about how many deals do you have right now available that could be potential PadSplit deals, Meg?
So we have 70 houses available right now. I'd say at any time there's 25% of the houses that can be pad split. Um, I like that on their own without the pad split strategy, they're still fantastic. I think that's my favorite part about pad split is it's easy to get into and easy to back out of if anything's to change. A lot of people get into these kind of niche strategies that you can't easily back out of. That once you're in it, you're in it. And pad split is one of those that you can kind of unwind pretty easy, in terms of the money that you're having to put in and the potential return. It's easy to just turn it around and turn it back into just a good old rental.
Yeah, guys, if you would like to attend the event, we've put Megan's email in chat, megan@alpinecs.com. Feel free to shoot her an email and say, Megan, I'm interested in attending the event. Can you send me some information? Get me the dates. Let me know, so that I can see if I can fit one of these dates in my schedule. Guys, I literally just pulled this up in the Dropbox. This is one of our Kansas City deals. It's turnkey. Okay, I bought it. I fixed it up. It's rented. It's got a 12-month tenant in there at $11.50 a month right now. As a pad split, it'd be about $2,500 a month. We could make it into a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 165,000, and you're making 10%. Jay Addison said, "Can you explain the appreciation, Meg? Why? You've been working with investors for 15 years. Why is a property like this 99,000 in 2018 and now worth 263,000 now? Or why is a Indianapolis property that we sold pre-COVID for, let's see here, 66,000 now worth double that? What's driving the appreciation in these cities?"
I mean, it's population growth, the markets that we're in. It's a lot of different things I'm sure you've talked about. We're not going into areas that are overinflated in terms of the prices, so there's a lot of appreciation still ahead of it. So population growth, low unemployment, diversified workforce. The taxes are low. They're landlord and business friendly. Yeah, we all miss the days when the houses were 60,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But the numbers are still great. They still work. You're still able to get a strong return and you still have some good appreciation ahead of you. You're not going into areas that
Oops, Meg froze up on us a little. Oh,
which I think is, what's that?
check your Wi-Fi. Make sure you're not out on the gym because you just froze up on us. Are you on the pool house Wi-Fi there?
Yeah, I am. Huh,
Okay.
can you hear me now? I'm on Pool
Yeah, you're
House.
good. We got you back. You just froze up at the end.
Anyway, so I think we've just done incredibly well tracking different projects that are happening in the markets that we're in and buying accordingly. You know, so we know about the light rail that's going in North Carolina. We know about the new tech project that's going in Indy, and we track those projects meticulously and we buy accordingly. And that has really served our investors well.
Somebody said, are pad splits, will they work on all of the properties that you sell, or are some areas not as good? That's where Meg will help you navigate, help you figure out if you're interested in Kansas City and Indianapolis and Idaho and North Carolina. And then she'll identify if you would like a pad split property. She'll help handpick properties for you that we already know can be pad split and that we have the numbers on.
Yeah.
So we do that for you. Somebody said, what about property neighbor complaints? We haven't had that one. Yeah, we obviously make sure that there's plenty of parking. So if we have a property we're going to convert to a 4-bedroom pad split, we make sure that there are 4 dedicated parking spots for those tenants. But once we've made sure that's in place, because unlike Airbnb, you know, my neighbors hate the Airbnbs because Airbnbs are partying. And a lot of times my neighbors hate people that have dogs or kids because they're making noise or biting. But think about a pad split, one person, one room. You have a 4-bedroom pad split. You got 4 people living in the house, single, no pets, no kids. They're good neighbors. They're not partiers like Airbnb. They don't have a bunch of kids and dogs, which is the cause of all my tenant complaints. Because again, guys, I'm managing 4,000 properties across 7 markets. So we've been doing property management for our clients since 2005, and our pad splits are wonderful. In fact, one of my pad splits in Kansas City, they told me that they've been scheduling dinners together. And I thought that was such a cool thing. Like they have a chore chart of who cooks, and they all sit down and they save leftovers if somebody's working. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's this community. It's this need to be part of a tribe, which I thought was really cute.
Cool.
And so, yeah, we've been very happy. Somebody said, is it easy to get out of? If wanted, is it liquid? So no, these are easy to unwind. If you decide that you don't want it as a pad split, I mean, at most you're taking a closet out of a living room that you made into a bedroom. And you know, we're talking about $1,000 to unwind it back to a single family home. So it's not a ton. They said, are there any risks with 4 strangers in the same house? So there is some risk, but PadSplit becomes the liability target on that, not you as the landlord. Because remember, you sign a lease with PadSplit, PadSplit rents it out. And so if there's landlord-tenant litigation, it's between PadSplit and them because they're the ones that put them in there. But again, we've found that if they have conflict, PadSplit will move them to another PadSplit there in town. And people want to be good citizens because there's just not a lot of options. And this is such a good thing at, you know, $600, $700 a month, including utilities. People don't want to lose access to PadSplit if they're legitimate good tenants. So we found less conflict between tenants than we saw previously. So I wanted you guys to meet Meg because as you get signed up, Kendall will have him put the link again in chat to attend our event. Feel free to email her, Megan, MEGGAN at alpinecs.com.
G's, 2 G's.
Yeah. Email her, let her know, or get signed up on our website so that you can attend our event. We in 2 weeks. Somebody asked about dates. So August 15th, 16th, and 17th, in 2 weeks here in Idaho, we still have some spots. Idaho Falls is where the event's being held. If you cannot attend live, we'd love to have you join us virtually and get registered on our site. We'll give you those virtual links. September 26th, 27th, and 28th will be out in Indianapolis. So if that's easier for you geographically, then join us in September. October, we will be back here in Idaho the 17th, 18th, and 19th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's Idaho Falls. IDA is the airport. You're responsible to pay to get here, and then you will pay for the hotel, $150 a month night. But we feed you 3 meals on Friday. We feed you 3 meals on Saturday. We have 2 networking events, Friday and Saturday night with an open bar. It's a first-class event. Guys, we've been hosting this event since 2009, and Megan has been working with our clients since 2006. And so she literally places $50 to $60 million a year in property for our investors. This is not your first rodeo, is it, Megan?
No, and I guess if I have any advice for any of you is don't try to make this decision sitting at home in your living room. You know, you have to be deliberate about it's a big decision to buy a rental property and potentially turn it into a pad split. And too many people try to do it off PDFs and they think it's all about the numbers. And while that's true, you know, you got to meet the team who's going to help you do it.
Yeah.
So being deliberate about the time and your decision and coming out and spending a couple days with us, you'll make a better decision. And if nothing else, you'll feel better about it.
Now I want to show you guys, this is the secret sauce, okay? This is my newest development, and a couple of you said, how do I partner with you on a group of pad splits? This is how we are combining pad split with manufactured housing. Let me walk you through this. It's going to blow your mind. This is the last thing I want to share with you guys tonight and show you how you can partner with us on this. Now, let me go back to the website here. Now, I have 4 dealerships with Fleetwood. Okay, let me show you Cavco and Fleetwood. So I have a manufactured home dealership with Fleetwood Homes in Idaho. Cavco is the parent company. We have one in Missouri. We have one in Indiana. We have one in North Carolina. Okay. So we've been doing manufactured homes. I absolutely love manufactured homes. And this is a manufactured home. Here's what it looks like on the outside. Okay. Here's the plans for it. And I want to show you this because it's really interesting. Now, you have a front door here and you have a second door here. You have a hallway. You have a living room and a kitchen. And then you have 1 bedroom with a shared bathroom. You have 2 bedrooms that shares that bathroom. So two bedrooms sharing 1 bathroom. Then you go down the hallway, you have bedroom 3, bedroom 4, shared bathroom. Down the hallway, bedroom 5, bedroom 6, shared bathroom. 1,200 square feet, 76 feet by 15 feet. 6 bedroom, 3 bath. Okay. And so we went to the city. We've been doing development here in Idaho Falls. We just built condos. We did a manufactured home development. We do a lot of development out here in Idaho. If you'd like to see the types of development that we're doing, come out here in 2 weeks. We'd love to have you join us. Or come out here in October. Let Megan, shoot her an email, Megan@AlpineCS, and let her know that you'd like to attend the event and come join us. So this is what the outside of this manufactured home looks like. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could put this on a permanent foundation and make it HUD approved, and I would have a 6.3. And let me walk you through the numbers of that. Now, as a dealer, I can buy this home, this Dakota 6-bedroom, I can buy for $75,000. The permanent foundation costs me $15,000. Setting the home on that foundation is about 10 grand. Utilities is about another 10. Concrete and landscaping is another 10, plus the price of the lot. So that's going to be different depending on the market that you're in. But, you know, in my case, it's $30,000 per lot. Now, I'm $120,000 before the price of the lot. Divided by 6, I'm buying these for $20,000 a unit. And at $175 a week, that puts me at $758 a month for 20K. Give me a heart emoji if that's looking sexy. If that's looking sexy. Okay. So 175 a week times 6 units, 1,050 a week times 52 weeks, 54,000 a year divided by 12 months. I'm at 45.50 a month for this baby. 45.50 a month. Now, if I'm conservative and I factor management fees of 18%, utilities, tax, maintenance, cleanings, insurance of 25%, guys, my net operating income is still $2,500, $2,600 a month. That is 26% a year. Give me a heart emoji if you would love to own one of those babies. Now we are going to, yep, and pre-lot. But I just bought 2.5 acres for $100,000. So I actually think my lot price will only be about 15. We're splitting hairs, Dara. We're talking about 23 cap versus 26 cap. So you're still in, right? At 23 cap. So we went to the city of Idaho Falls and we said, would you let us put 6 of these on an acre? And they said, yeah, if you do them nice, if you do landscaping and grass and flowers. We said, absolutely. And we went to the city of Blackfoot, Idaho, and asked them the same question. We went to the city of Indianapolis because, guys, you have to understand that cities are as concerned about affordable housing as people who need affordable housing because they know that it's going to hurt their economy if they don't have affordable housing for their blue collar workers. And cities and counties all across America are worried about how to solve for affordable housing. But guys, I love this layout for a PadSplit. Okay. I think this is a fantastic layout. How many of you were like, oh, I don't like them sharing one bath? We solved that. Okay. We got 3 baths. And we've minimized the common areas that have to be cleaned. But it's not like there's 6 exit doors like a man camp in an oil field. And so combining our knowledge with manufactured housing with PadSplit is what we think is going to be a path. And we're by October, we're going to have a syndication where you could put 50,000 or 100,000 into a development with us and then make 20% a year just on the rents, not counting any appreciation. Give me a heart emoji if you would be interested in putting 50,000 from your IRA or 100,000 from your money into a project like this with us, because we are working on them right now. In fact, just, full disclosure, I just approved this. Amber is my contact at Fleetwood. I said, I think this Dakota would work great. We have PadSplit clients in a 4-1. This was Monday. Okay, this email was Monday, and Amber said, I will work on getting pricing for this. So I'm getting the final pricing. I already have the land in place, and we're going to let our Alpine clients partner with us on this 506B syndication. Even if you are not accredited, we'll potentially have a spot for you to put 50,000 minimum into a project like this. And so I wanted to share this with you because I think these are amazing cash on cash returns. You don't have to go out and do this yourself. You can partner with us in an LLC on this. You can put as little as $50,000 and make 20% just on the rents, plus the value that it's going to have. And we think because we're putting it on a permanent foundation, because we're doing HUD approved housing, very high quality housing, we're doing upgraded finishes in these. This is not slumlording. We are going to have possible for 1031 exchange. We've done those in the past for our investors. And so if this is something that's interesting to you guys, then I want you to join us. Kendall, if you could throw the link again, the protectwealth.com/Aaron. Click on the green tab right here. Yes, I'm ready to invest. And get signed up, pick a time to connect with us, or just type in Megan, MEGGAN, at alpinecs.com and email her and say, Megan, I'd love to attend the event. Because in order for you to invest in a 506B syndication with us, you have to be personally known to us. We have to know you. And so what better way to become personally known than to spend 3 days at my office, meet my team, meet my partners, go out on a bus tour on Saturday, see deals. I'd love to have you come out here to Idaho. We've been hosting events since 2009. We don't sell coaching packages. There's no bait and switch. We just either sell you deals or we let you invest with us. That's all we've been doing. And so if you're interested, then come out in a couple of weeks to Idaho, come out to Indianapolis in September, come join us at the event. And this is just one of 6 different strategies that we're going to be teaching at the events. Give me a heart emoji if you're like, that's sexy, Aaron. I like that. That is, you guys are pioneering this. This is good stuff. This is original. That you've educated me. I see why you've been doing business for 25 years. And guys, 7 years ago, we were talking about Airbnbs. 10 years ago, we were talking about small single family Midwest homes. And so we've been very progressive in terms of opportunity for our clients. We have syndications of trailer parks. We have syndications of RV parks. We have them on apartment complexes. But we're also happy to sell you the individual property. Kim said, what if we don't have 50K? Is there anything for 20 to 30? There's not for that small of amount, Kim. But we can show you how to start maybe doing some deals so you can grow your money. If you don't have 50, we don't have anything for you at this point. You got to have at least 50K. But if you guys are in a position where you have 50,000 or more in an IRA, in a 401K, maybe you have IRA money or 401K money, Kim, that could be put into this. That's money that would be eligible for those. So wanted to share that with you guys tonight. And for those of you that this is your first time meeting us, it's been very cool meeting you. We've been working with Don and Kendall at Protect Wealth for a long time, since the pre-COVID days. I think we're coming up on 10 years. They've invested with us. If you are a client of Anderson Business Advisors, Clint has been one of my real estate partners for over a decade. So has Toby Mathis. We've been very close with them. Scott Estel has invested with us. His daughter did an internship with us. So pretty much anyone affiliated with Protect Wealth, we've worked with in one capacity or another. Bashima said, can you explain the tax implications? You would just pay tax on the rental income, but if you were to use 401k or IRA money, you pay no tax on the rent. So imagine making 20% on the rents inside your 401k. You don't even file a tax return on that rental income. It's tax free if it's a Roth. It's tax deferred if it's traditional. And you wouldn't pay on the tax until you start taking it out on the traditional. You would never pay tax on the rents if it's a Roth. And so that's one of the reasons why we're going to give you 2 free Roths, because we want our clients to start thinking in terms of Roth, especially for their real estate investment. We also love solo 401ks. If you have one of those are another fantastic vehicle to invest in real estate, especially one with leverage. So we just had a client that is buying a PadSplit from us in a solo 401k, and they're getting a loan on it. We can show you how to do that as well. No depreciation inside a retirement account, but on any of these investments outside a retirement account, absolutely depreciation. Yep. So don't want to take too much time. We didn't want to go over an hour, but we appreciate you guys spending time with us. Please reach out an email to attend the event. Use the link in chat to get in with us. If you've seen us in the past and you're like, I need to come out, pick a date and come join us at one of the events. We don't have people that regret spending 3 days with us. The link is in chat, protectwealth.com/Aaron. PadSplit is in New York, Michelle. Yeah. And so hopefully give me a heart emoji if this has been worth an hour of your time on a Wednesday night. Awesome. Don, I think we're good. Kendall, I think we're good.
We're here. Thank you. Well, I think you hit it head on. I think you've answered most of the questions. Is there anything else that's students that we didn't cover? I think you were pretty clear. If you know what, I've been to his event dozens of times, and you will not be disappointed. There's so much education. Aaron is an educator. I'd take the time to come out and visit him.
Love to have you join us. I started this journey as a high school teacher, and I still coach the Rigby High School volleyball team. We're making a run at a state championship this year. So teaching's my superpower. So it's been fun meeting folks tonight.
Students, thanks for being on. Looks like I think we're wrapped up with questions. let's call it a night. I appreciate you being here. If you missed part of this, it'll be on YouTube, but sign up if you've got questions. If you want to come see us in Indianapolis or Idaho Falls, love to have you. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Okay. Good night.